For delivering cloud-based services, the first and most important need for any provider is a platform. Single platform which can automate service delivery as well as help a provider to manage the complete customer life cycle, marketing and sales, billing and pricing, inventory and assets, support and CRM, partner management, business intelligence, customer panel and marketplace. RackNap, a unified cloud service delivery and business automation platform, helps you do just that. It enables cloud providers, data centers, hardware and software distributors, SaaS and subscription-based solution providers, telcos, hosters and many other providers to sell services on their own infrastructure as well as via third-party providers. RackNap integrated with Virtuozzo and Plesk API helps cloud service providers in A. Cloud provisioning, B. Cloud control and backup, C. Cloud billing. Now let's begin the demonstration by getting to know how A. Cloud provisioning takes place. This cloud provisioning is done via 1. Virtuozzo provisioning and automation, 2. Plesk provisioning and automation. Now let's see how provisioning and automation of Virtuozzo based cloud takes place via RackNap. From the multiple cloud based plans present on marketplace, your client selects the suitable plan of cloud server. Here ZNet Live's marketplace that sells cloud via RackNap is taken as an example. Your client now selects the desired control panel. Here in this case, as you can see, Plesk control panel has been chosen. Desired host name, here Test PCS Cloud has been chosen and proceeds with the order process. Here as you can see, the client enters his service account information. On the right side you can see entire details associated with this order. This includes but is not limited to the mention of 1 GB RAM that is purchased from the marketplace with this Virtuozzo based cloud. The client is now redirected to the payment gateway to complete the payment process. By the time the payment is processed, provisioning of Virtuozzo based cloud takes place along with Plesk license key automation. The payment process, as you can see now, is successfully completed. The screen that you see now is the Virtuozzo panel. Here you can see that the recently bought Virtuozzo based cloud is successfully provisioned. This can be further confirmed with the running status of this cloud as is seen here. The Virtuozzo provisioning and automation can be simultaneously verified in RackNap's client panel too. This is how the login screen of RackNap's client panel looks like. This provides your client with complete information related to billing, support, partnership and entire services bought from you so far. Once your client logs into his RackNap client panel, he can view all the details associated with this recently bought Virtuozzo based cloud. The service name, domain name, registration date, next due date and the amount paid in this transaction. Clicking on this plan of recently purchased cloud server takes your client to the server control center of his RackNap's client panel. Under the server control center of this RackNap's client panel, one can view the resource details associated with this cloud server, the CPU information and information on allotted versus consumed disk space and memory. This completes the walkthrough over Virtuozzo provisioning and automation in Virtuozzo panel and RackNap client panel, all achieved via RackNap integration with Virtuozzo API. Now let's continue our walkthrough by getting to know how Plesk provisioning and automation takes place in Plesk as well as in RackNap's client panel. Under the service details section, one can get and access the username and password of his Plesk panel. This facilitates the client's direct login to his Plesk panel via RackNap's client panel, thus eliminating the need of a separate login to the Plesk panel associated with this cloud server. Now, under the server control center of the client's RackNap panel, one can view all the details associated with this cloud. This includes but is not limited to the Plesk license key that is needed to access the Plesk control panel. The same license key, as you can see, is also generated in the Plesk master panel. This confirms Plesk provisioning in Plesk master panel as well as client's RackNap panel. This auto generation of Plesk license key eliminates the need of a system administrator having to manually create one and assign to the customer. This Plesk automation and provisioning is facilitated due to RackNap integration with Plesk API. Now, let us have some key takeaways from this section of demonstration. 1. RackNap's integration with Virtuozzo API facilitates the provisioning of Virtuozzo based cloud in Virtuozzo panel as well as in client's RackNap panel simultaneously. 2. RackNap's integration with Plesk API facilitates the auto provisioning of this cloud's Plesk license key in Plesk master panel as well as in client's RackNap panel simultaneously. 3. The single login to control panel click enables customer to log into his Plesk panel straight from client's RackNap panel, thereby eliminating the need of him having to log in to multiple interfaces. Now, let's continue the demonstration by getting to know how B. Cloud control and backup takes place. As you can see on this screen, the recently bought cloud server plan details are mentioned in the RackNap client panel. Clicking on this plan takes your client to the server control center of RackNap's client panel. Under this server control center, as we saw earlier, your client can have a glance of entire information related to his cloud server plan, the username and password to log in the associated Plesk panel and other related information. Let's say your client wants to stop the currently running cloud server. This can be done by simply clicking on the stop button here. This shall lead to stopping of his cloud server and can be confirmed in the Virtuozzo panel too. As you see on the screen now, the Virtuozzo panel shows that the previously running cloud server is now in the down status. Similarly, clicking on the start button in the server control center of client's RackNap panel, the client's cloud server gets restarted and can be verified by the running status showing in Virtuozzo panel on the screen here. Now let's continue the walkthrough by getting to know how can your client proceeds with the cloud server's resource backup via RackNap integrated with Virtuozzo API. Here, under the backup tab, your client himself can create cloud server backup by filling the associated information along with scheduling the backup if needed. Once done in the server control center of client's RackNap panel, the backup details can also be verified in the Virtuozzo panel that you can see on the screen now. Similarly, the previously empty backup detail section in the client's RackNap panel shows the details of recently created cloud server backup now. Now, let's say your client wants to upgrade his cloud server. So, let's continue our walkthrough by getting to know how can this be done. From here, Your client can upgrade the previously allocated cloud server resources. Here, for demonstration purpose, we are upgrading the previously purchased 1 GB RAM to 2 GB. Now, the RackNap shall calculate the pricing of this additionally upgraded 2 GB RAM on pro rata basis. Your client then makes payment for this upgraded RAM accordingly. Now, let's verify whether this upgraded RAM of cloud server gets updated in Virtuozzo panel or not. So, as you can see now, the RAM shows upgraded to 2 GB in Virtuozzo panel as well as client's RackNap panel. This all happens with RackNap's seamless integration with Virtuozzo API. Now, let us have some key takeaways from this section of the demonstration. 1. RackNap's integration with Virtuozzo API facilitates cloud servers starting and stopping per client's need. 2. RackNap allows your client to have full control over his cloud resource backup, creating and scheduling it, all automated and simultaneously synced in RackNap's client panel as well as Virtuozzo panel. 3. RackNap allows your client to upgrade the previously allocated cloud resources and have the same reflected and synced in Virtuozzo panel too. The associated charges being calculated and adjusted automatically via RackNap on pro rata basis. Now, let's continue the demonstration by getting to know how cloud billing takes place. Now, let us move to RackNap's admin panel that you as a provider shall get. This will help you to manage services purchased by your end clients from you. Here, you get each and every information that is required to automate your business lifecycle. Summary of all clients, product and services, billing, marketing stuff, support and many more. Now, under the orders section of its billing tab, you can have a check over the orders placed by this respective client from you so far. As you can see on the screen is the mention of cloud servers order that was placed by your client from the marketplace. Now, this what you see is the single view dashboard of your client. This shows client's summary, profile, all products and services purchased from you so far, billing related information and logs of all sort of communication done by your organization with the respective client. Under the products and service tab, you see is the recently purchased service from you by the client. Clicking on this service, you as an admin can see entire information related to this service and the order. Now, in case your client fails to renew his cloud server on or before the renewal date, RackNap has the provision of suspending it. This can be done automatically, manually. Let's see how RackNap does it automatically. In case your client fails to renew his cloud server on or before the renewal date, RackNap auto suspends it. However, your client renews the said service within renewal grace period, his service gets activated. But if your client fails to renew this service within the renewal grace period too, his cloud server gets permanently terminated along with the permanent termination of Plesk license key associated with it. RackNap also provides you with a provision to perform this suspension termination manually. Clicking on suspend button followed by the mention of reason behind it shall lead to suspension of your client's cloud server that can be verified here. This is followed by cross-verifying the same in Virtuozzo panel. Here, as you can see, the client's cloud server status is showing to be in suspended status. This also shows suspended in your admin panel, as you can see here. If you want to unsuspend your client's cloud server, you simply need to check on Unsuspend button in your admin panel, followed by the mention of reason behind it. Now, as you can see, the client's cloud server now shows as unsuspended. This can be verified here, followed by cross-verifying the same in Virtuozzo Panel. Here, as you can see, the client's cloud server is showing to be in running status. An important and noteworthy point here is that suspension of cloud server automatically via RackNap or manually via admin does not have any impact on the Plesk license key auto-generated while Plesk provisioning in first part of the demonstration. Now, in case you as an admin want to permanently terminate your client's cloud server, simply click on Terminate button in your RackNap's admin panel, followed by the mention of reason behind it. This also shows terminated in your admin panel, as you can see here. This is followed by cross-verifying the same in Virtuozzo Panel. Here, as you can see, the previously present mention of client's cloud server no longer exists, hence confirming the termination. An important and noteworthy point here is that termination of cloud server automatically via RackNap or manually by the admin also terminates the Plesk license key permanently, auto-generated while Plesk provisioning in first part of the demonstration. So here RackNap completely eliminates any sort of manual intervention in managing the termination of Plesk license key. Now let us have some key takeaways from this last section of the demonstration. 1. RackNap allows you as an admin to have full control over your client's Virtuozzo based cloud server, manually suspending, unsuspending and terminating the cloud, same getting reflected in Virtuozzo Panel simultaneously. 2. However, the cloud server also gets auto-suspended and terminated in case the renewals are not paid timely by your client, same getting reflected in Virtuozzo Panel simultaneously. 3. The most remarkable takeaway of this last section of the demonstration is auto termination of Plesk license key with the termination of Virtuozzo based cloud, which reflects in RackNap's client panel as well as Virtuozzo Panel. Thus, finally concluding this entire demonstration, we can summarize that RackNap integration with Virtuozzo and Plesk API helps you in A. Cloud provisioning, B. Cloud control and backup, C. Cloud billing. Should you have any questions regarding this demonstration, simply drop an email at touch@racknap.com and we shall have your concerns looked into.